Hi Quakers, here's today's packet review video. Today we're going to be doing day 2, reading and writing. It's a little passage about triangles and then some questions. If you haven't done this yet, please go ahead and pause the video, try it on your own, and then resume the video to check your answers. Okay, here we go. Classifying triangles. Every triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. The angles always add up to 180. I'm going to underline that because I think it's important. There are some differences in triangles, though. You may have noticed that they can be shaped slightly differently. They can have different sized angles. They can have sides that are different lengths. There are 3 kinds of triangles. Triangles can be equilateral, isosceles, or scalene. I'm going to underline that because it's in bold. I know that it's probably going to be important. An equilateral triangle has 3 equal sides. Okay, equilateral has 3 equal sides. It also has 3 equal angles. Okay, so it's got equal angles as well. The 3 angles of an equilateral triangle are each 60, and they add up to 180. That makes sense because we saw that before. The second kind of triangle is an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle has 2 sides that are equal. Okay, I want to remember that. It has 2 sides that are equal and 1 that is different. It also has 2 angles that have the same measurement, and the third angle is different. The 3 angles add up to 180, just like the equilateral, because every triangle has that. The last kind of triangle is a scalene triangle. A scalene triangle has 3 sides that are different lengths and 3 angles that have different measurements. However, the 3 angles still add up to 180 degrees. Triangles get a second name based on the kind of angles they have inside. Sometimes all the angles are small. If they are all less than 90 degrees, the triangle is called an acute triangle. If it has one right angle, exactly 90 degrees, it's called a right angle, or a right triangle. If it has an angle that is more than 90 degrees, it is called an obtuse triangle. The names can be used together to describe triangles very precisely. For example, you can have a right isosceles triangle. Cool. It would have 2 equal sides, a 90-degree angle, and 2 45-degree angles. Okay, we read the passage. So now, if you needed help reading it, but you haven't answered these yet, pause the video so that you can try your best on these and then resume it so that we can go over the answers. Okay, question 1. And for each of these questions, I'm going to go back in the text to find the answer to make sure I'm right. Number 1, what is the sum of the angles of any triangle? I remember that I underlined that the angles always add up to 180, and I know sum is when you add things together to find a total. So I know the answer is 180, and this little circle here stands for degrees. And this isn't like heat or weather. This is just a mathematical term, degrees. Question 2. If a triangle has no equal sides and no equal angles, what is it called? Okay, no equal sides, so it can't be an equilateral. Isosceles has 2 sides that are equal, so it must be a scalene triangle, has 3 sides that are different lengths. Okay, scalene triangle. How many degrees are in a right angle? Okay, I saw a right angle somewhere around here. Oh, right angle, exactly 90 degrees, okay? What is a triangle called if all the angles and all the sides are equal? I remember that was an equilateral triangle, and I remember that because of equa. Sounds like equal. Equilateral triangle. And I'm not writing in complete sentences because the lines are so small, and it doesn't ask me to. Question 5. In your own words, explain what to look for if you want to classify a triangle. So I'm not even going to look in here. I'm just going to think to myself. I would look at the sides, the angles, the sides and the angles. Okay, so there you go. You can check your work. If your work is incorrect, no worries. I'm glad you tried your best. Just replace it with my answers. If your work is correct, awesome job. Next week, I'll resume with some packet review. Thanks for watching.